Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the men's room.
And there we go. Welcome to show number 2862. Along with Steve the Throw Hill, the Ted Smith, Robin Fox, and Mike Hawk. Montgomery! Are in the men's room. On tap today, here come the bad jokes, bitches. The return of Ted versus the FCC. Get ready to play Profile This. Plus headlines, a men's room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV time with Ted.
Click, clack.
Drink that tea drunk. All right, here we go to the Lone Star State where a dispute over a reserved seats at the Purge movie leads to a stabbing. Meanwhile, drunk Florida man attacks minion on boardwalk while incoherently blabbing. Former reality star turned prostitute steals John's credit card and goes on a spree. In Kazakhstan, a 40-foot tall squirrel is too big to climb a tree. And plane plunges 21,000 feet, all while the pilot vapes. That's all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, we told you about the would-be burglar in North Carolina. He broke into a Golden Corral restaurant. He ran into trouble when he got trapped in the ventilation system. Things got worse when employees turned on the stove. Well, he was rescued by firefighters. Now, we also share the story of the Washington man who broke into an escape room. Unfortunately, he could not escape. Meanwhile, our listeners at 98.3 The Keg in Arkansas, probably familiar with this story. It happened right there in Fayetteville about a guy who was stuck in a sewer. He eventually was rescued, but no one's quite sure how or why he was in the sewer in the first place. That's the part of the story that's a mystery. Well, now we have the story of a Washington State research student. She had to call 911 and explain that she was trapped 30 feet up in a tree and needed rescuing. But she was not stuck in a tree. You see, the problem was the pack of wolves that were circling the bottom of the tree waiting for her to come back down. Good times, everybody. Good times. But look, we always find ourselves in some kind of weird or bad situation. There's a moment that you know things are about to go south. And that's the moment that really sticks with us. Your adrenaline goes up and you go, oh boy, here we go. Well, that's what our question is today, man. We know you've been in a bad situation. We just want to know about how long it took you to figure out it was going to happen. So today's question is, what was the moment you knew you were in trouble?
Be part of the big show. Call 844-999-OLA. You can like The Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to themensroom@mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the men's room.
Hola, Macholas, and away we go. Welcome to show number 2862 with a large, incredibly in charge program we have for you today as the exciting return of Ted versus the FCC is coming up right before we drink and toast with the shot of the day. By the way, speaking of Ted versus the FCC, if you have not done so yet, you can download the Men's Room app and play a little You versus the FCC, and we make sure to update that thing on a regular basis, so you think you might have done every single tongue twister in there. Those are constantly updated when you get the app, and there's a whole bunch of other cool stuff on there as well. So Ted versus the FCC is on the way, and we'll get to the bad jokes with Ryan Castle, the drunk in charge, and to kick off bad jokes as well. And today our question is all about that moment that you knew that you were in trouble. And it is the moment, so to speak. And we'll start with a story.
The moment you say uh-oh is the moment you realize.
And then you know, like, oh man, am I going to have to go to the hospital, or what is going to happen here? The kitchen staff at Golden Corral in Mount Airy, North Carolina, were working on Tuesday when they noticed that the smoke was not ventilating properly. Okay. And I don't know what you know about a kitchen, but Steve, could you basically explain the ventilation system in the kitchen of a major, because everybody has a little vent fan above their stove or whatever. But,
well, man, it's industrial strength, and the reason it needs to be industrial strength, and anyone that works in a kitchen, if you open the restaurant, you know this to be true. You walk in, and the kitchen is room temperature, right? And then once you turn on the burners and the stove and the grill, and all the crap that goes, the temperature goes up upwards of 30 to 40 degrees. If you keep the vents off, the temperature goes up 30 or 40 degrees. So part of the reason you put the vent on is so that people don't drop dead working in Death Valley temperatures, right? So think of all of that heat getting sucked into the vent, except now there's a dude who's been stuck in there, and I'm telling you, I don't know much about the story other than you're stuck in the vent, you don't want to get caught, you're reasoning you can get out of there somehow. Once they turned those stoves on and he felt the amount of heat going up there, I guarantee you that's why he started screaming.
Well, the exhaust vent above the stove was blocked, so the manager went up on the roof to investigate, and he quickly figured out what was wrong with the vents.
There's a person stuck in there, guys.
Yeah. It turned out 59-year-old Charlie Walker had tried to break into the Golden Corral before it opened. He got stuck in the vent, so he's actually pretty lucky the staff found him.
Yeah.
Fire department came. They rescued him, and then they took him to a hospital once doctors checked him out and made sure he was okay. You know, he was off for the jail for felony breaking. And
where did this happen?
This happened in High Point, North Carolina.
Okay. I'm saying some of the people that I've worked with in restaurants, they'd be so mad that someone tried to break it, but nah, we're leaving his ass up there for 10 minutes. Turn the stove on.
Yeah, I think that's
and
somewhere.
they tell him, yeah, your ass getting hot.
Yeah. Our listeners at Rock 103 probably know where the hell that is. I think that's in the Piedmont somewhere. Either way, a Golden Corral, not a bad place to eat. If you're in one of those situations where you're just like...
What is the situation? It's fine.
You're on the road.
Fine. That's the situation.
That's the only situation.
Everywhere's fine. A motel is great if you're on the road and you're dying from sleep deprivation, right?
Yeah.
But if I said, hey, man, you want to stay at this motel or do you want to stay at the Hyatt?
It's Golden Corral. They're not a 24-hour diner, are they?
I don't.
They're not a diner.
Not
it's
a
diner. Buffet place now.
Oh, it's a buffet. People. Oh, I thought it was like a
Golden Corral used to be like you go in and get a steak or whatever, and then I read this whole story on it. They had a couple nights where it was kind of all you can eat.
Okay.
And then over the years, that's just what it turned into.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was actually a sit-down place. Okay.
I think you're stuck in the nostalgia of things. Like when I was a kid, if my parents said, hey, we're going to take you to Golden Corral, I'm delighted. I am excited. I'm very happy. As an adult, I'm like, again, if I'm driving, sure.
Yep, you're right. Absolutely. It's a buffet. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Miles does like that. I won't say the name of another restaurant, but somebody called in and mentioned, you're like, that is the best. The guy's like, no, it's just a fast food joint. It's not near you.
Yeah. You're probably right.
I was going to say, when's the last time you've been to one?
Golden Corral, last time I went, it was a sit-down place where you could get like meatloaf.
How long?
So we're talking like
steak.
20 years since you stepped foot in one.
But it was fantastic.
Times have changed.
Look, I haven't been in a big boy either, but I know I can go back. You know, it's like one of those
Are
things.
there big boys
Are there
left?
still big boys?
I don't know, but if I saw one, I'd be like, oh, yeah, they probably are great. You know, like a Sherry's or something.
I know I can go back. Do they exist? I don't know.
I don't know.
But if they're there.
But if they do, they're great.
Right.
Welcome me back with open arms.
It's like Howard Johnson.
Yeah. When you go get ice cream,
Greatest
you find
spot
one.
you could ever go.
You could just find one.
Can't find one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go there after we hit the Blockbuster.
We went to Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips, we did. A man and a child became stuck on a zip line.
You mentioned fish and chips. I remember the first time I ate there. This is how long ago
Arthur
it was.
Treacher's?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Dream Team was playing. The original one.
No way.
In 94.
And I'm going to say that's late in their existence, man. They used to be everywhere until people realized what it was.
Now it's just Long John Silver's. A man and a child became stuck on a zip line.
What do you think of Long John? Before you even get in there, is that a great place?
Oh, it's probably been 25 years.
But that seems to be your general thing.
It was decent. I remember, like, the Hush Puppies. They have Hush Puppies.
You should do Yelp reviews.
And they have crumbs.
You need to do Yelp reviews for places you haven't been in 2 decades.
I think I'd
Greatest meal ever.
I think I'd be spot on.
Says Miles,
1998.
1998.
Do you think they've changed the cod or anything? I mean, it's the same crappy fish. I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, it was still delicious.
But look, man,
their breading and their Hush Puppies.
I think sometimes when you revisit things, they're not quite as good. Remember when we tried to watch Dukes of Hazzard? Because Dukes of Hazzard was so awesome when we were kids.
Why can't I have
Remember
a
when
positive?
you tried a Twinkie again? Because as a kid, they were so great. And they didn't change anything.
No, you're right.
Your mouth got smarter.
Or maybe go to one of those steakhouses where they give you a steak like on a metal plate.
Yeah.
Bonanza,
With the
Ponderosa,
it has the logo of the
Western
restaurant
Steer.
burned in.
Yeah. A man and a child became stuck on a zip line in Gatorland over a pool of gators on Saturday. The manager of the zip line said the situation is an everyday occurrence. Happens fairly often. Let me repeat that again.
Why is it still open?
I don't know.
It's a zip line over a gator pond, and he says people getting trapped over the gator pond on a zip line
Happens
is
all the
routine.
time. Yes. Nick Kahapina said the man and child were never in any danger.
Yes, they were.
The guides at Gatorland are fully trained in that particular situation. They were about 40 feet above the gators at the apex of the zip line. Officials said they were stuck on the zip line for around, just 25 minutes. Slightly longer than normal due to the weight of the man. He said wind gusts are typically to blame for people becoming stuck, which was what was happening in the situation. Usually just takes 15 minutes to get down. So it's windy, the wind gusts are blowing, he's dangling. But the thing was, if you look at the pictures
normally
of the video,
you're only dangling over gators
10, 15.
for 10 to 15.
But
that's not supposed to be part of the
you
ride.
actually
but
do.
You should expect
but all the gators kind of pull up together and like in a clump like you'd expect them to in a movie or a cartoon. looking up, like, all right, man, what's going to happen now?
Well, it's like people in the kitchen at a party.
Right, everyone goes
Like if
where
you're
the food
cooking
is.
food, right? Like I'm going to stand around the kitchen. So these gators are like, there it is. One of these days, that food's dropping in.
Here come the snacks.
All right.
Yeah,
What
right.
what was the moment you knew you were in trouble? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Ben. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola!
Hola!
When did you know you were in trouble?
This was last summer around July. We were on, so I'm Native American, and we participate in our cultural belief is we used to travel the waters. That's how ancestors met.
Okay.
And so last year, our canoe journey was up in Campbell River, Canada, which is pretty far, halfway up Vancouver Island. And we were at Nanaimo, and they said it was going to be a 2-hour pull around the point. Well, that was a joke because it ended up being like 7 hours.
Is that because of the wind?
Oh yeah, we hit the northern wind so bad. There was waves 6 foot.
Yeah, I was going to
and
say.
there was about 6 to 7 foot swells in every direction. So.
And what size of a canoe were you on?
It's a cedar strip glass fiberglass, so it's about 40 feet.
Okay, that's a big canoe. That's a really big canoe to keep straight into the wind.
Oh, you got to be really strong to steer it, well, we were going around the point, and we were actually going pretty good. We were the first ones out there to be around the point. We're like, we're going to make it there first. Nope. End up, those waves hit pretty hard, and our skipper decided we're going to tow through it. But if it's kind of hard to do when there's waves hitting every direction. So we missed the point of the wave. So our support boat came up right next to us. But another wave hit us, and it brought the support boat up, and it almost came down on us, but he moved out of the way, but that wave sunk us.
So you dumped a 40-foot boat, now, had you... Had you, and I remember having to do this in Boy Scouts, and I know Mike, but it never really happens, and you never really have to apply it practically in a dangerous situation, but how long did it take you to get that canoe over top of over the other boat and turn that thing upright and get back in the canoe? An hour?
14 minutes.
That was it?
We train for that every summer. We started March, and we don't leave till July, so...
That's pretty smart.
I leave next
Good
week,
work.
so...
Hey, man, let me ask you this.
Are you an Eagle Scout?
No, I'm a savage.
He's Native American.
Sorry. I got confused. Miles Burrito's the Boy Scouts. Sorry.
You're a hell of a scout.
I was like, God damn, they're
I'm
from here, damn it.
14 minutes. He's like, no, we do this all the time.
But let me ask you this,
You're
man.
on my land,
So,
I'm going to take a timeout.
so like, you're saying this, and it sounds like this great thing. Like, hey, man, that's what our ancestors did. We honor that. We go around there. So now I'm in this 40-foot canoe. These waves hit me. Turn this bitch over. Like, do you get mad at your ancestors at some point? Like, you couldn't do something easier?
No, I just think it's a way. It's like, it's kind of easy for what they had to go through.
Well, but also, too, because
Apparently not.
You probably had all of your gear in plastic bags.
Oh.
So that everything...
Oh, we have Yeah, we have dry bags and we have top of the line beer.
Just like your ancestors.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they're pulling out like 500. They're pulling out 500-pound wet pelts.
Right, here you are with a dry bag.
Oh, I've got REI stuff. These quick dry underwear are nice, aren't they?
I would think if I started REI, I'd have gone to the tribe and said, look, man, if you're going to do this every year, I can help you out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, and there's another thing. You know those, you guys are talking about those Igloo, or what are those coolers are called?
The coolers.
The Yetis?
Yetis.
Yeah, the Yetis. Guess what? They float in the water.
Well, thank God they do. All right.
Yetis
They can
do everything.
They can do everything.
They
Well, they're
can.
airtight, sure.
And they're bear resistant.
Hey, man, I want you to do me a favor, man. When you see a relative, I want you to let them know, hey, man, based on our traditions and our ancestors and all this great, we are the equivalent of Eagle Scouts. That's what we learned today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys see any? Did you guys? I know that area is heavily populated with bears. Did
It's
you see?
gone.
Did you see? Oh, okay. What was the moment you knew you were in trouble?
That was the best question.
Sorry, I got lost for a second. And then,
It said at the beginning, hey, man.
I know. It's
You're an Eagle Scout.
Kinda. He's kind of an Eagle Scout.
well, he said he did it in 14 minutes, and he's like, we trained for this every year. Then I was like, oh, he must be an Eagle Scout. I'll burn miles. And then it's like, nope, you're the dumbass.
That's the best question ever.
I kind of live it.
Yeah.
What was the?
Just a tradition handed down by
Right, all this stuff.
thousands of years.
generations of my family. But yeah, I'm a Boy Scout.
That's why I did it.
What was the moment you knew you were in trouble? 844-999-OLA.
As soon as I asked that question.
Hello, Kay. Welcome to the men's room.
Hi.
Hola.
Hola. How are you guys today?
We're wonderful. How are you, Kay?
Oh, I am doing great. I'm stuck in traffic, but hey, that's all right. I'm with you guys.
All
so
right.
it's good.
When did you know you were in trouble?
Oh, my gosh. Well, get right to it. I went to the wrong wedding. And
How do you go to the wrong wedding?
Wait a minute. Time out here.
How do you go to the wrong wedding?
How was the food?
well, imagine that it's in Roy, Washington. You know, it's like a little one-horse town. I assumed every time I had ever driven through that town, I only saw one church. So
Okay.
when I was invited to a wedding there, I was like, got it. I know right where that is. So I went to that church. What are the odds that at the same day, same time, only the wrong church, somebody else was getting married in Roy?
Okay.
Those odds are better
All right,
than
Kay,
you thought.
What was the moment that you knew that you were in the wrong location?
When they started the dun 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 dun, and then we stood up, we turned around, and it was not my friend.
So it took that
did you-
long.
did you not
You didn't
re-
see any mutual friends. Nobody
Yeah.
you knew. Nothing.
keep in mind that the girl whose wedding it was, she was a little crazy, and a lot of people didn't want to go to this wedding, so we had never really met the groom. So when I'm these goat ropers, you know, in their jeans and their hats, I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is what she's marrying into. That's okay.
Did you say she was marrying into a family of goat ropers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were they cowboys or goat ropers?
Goat ropers? What is a goat
Sorry.
roper?
It's like the show The Ropers.
Right, okay.
So,
But here was the biggest problem. We put our wedding presents at the back of the church. These guys had it like a little table.
Oh, no. What was the gift? Okay, what was the gift?
You know, it was something made out of China. I don't even remember. It was
I'm sure
black.
it's goat
But it was
ropers
on
love
a,
that.
but it was on a registry, I'm assuming.
Oh, absolutely. And we needed it for Debbie's reception now that we've missed the whole wedding, and we got to get it back.
So what
did you go up to the table and snatch it under risk of people
No,
thinking you're a thief?
My friend who I had made go with me as my plus one, because my other half was out of town, she, the whole time through the wedding, she's going, we got to leave. We got to leave. And I said, we're not leaving our presents back there, and we're not disrupting the wedding. Just hang on a minute. So as soon as it's over, well, guess what they do? They compound the problem by having their receiving line at the back of the church. So we can't just slither out and grab our gift and go. No, we got to go through the whole damn receiving line.
Were you like, congratulations?
Oh, you had to stay through the whole thing, man.
Believe me, I told my girlfriend, she said, I can't do this. I said, okay, you grab the present. I will create the diversion. So as I'm going down the line, I'm saying, oh, it's so great to see you guys.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is worse than our experience at the, at least we got, so you didn't even you didn't get the reception. You get booze or food or nothing. You had to just sit through the whole ceremony.
Well, we made it to the reception for the correct wedding eventually and had booze, and it all made up for it. And we had our present, but I had to kiss Grandma and hug the bride like there was no tomorrow, and, started grabbing.
Do you ever think and wonder to yourself, A, are these people still married? B, do they often wonder
who the hell was that nice lady?
That one couple at the wedding, and they never saw them again. And they didn't, because you know what they said was like, we need to find out who this is. So they started talking to everybody,
and nobody
hoping they were
knows
saying like at the reception when we'll try to figure out who this is, and then you never showed to the reception. So then the mystery deepens.
And I think they ended up thinking maybe we were some weirdo city people that stock country weddings to steal presents.
That's a reasonable thing to assume. Yeah.
Because you were city people stealing a present
off the table, right. Taking off running in the car.
All circumstantial evidence pointed that way. Yeah.
When she got a hold of that present, I thought, be cool, just slip it under your coat, under your arm, just walk out the door. I'm making this distraction. Oh, hell no. She trips, drops the present, picks it up.
Oh, no.
I'm gone. And she takes off running. And I'm like, okay, I'm going with you.
Oh, my God. This is like a heist.
Jesus Christ, man.
You are, okay.
Oh, my God.
Okay, you're
so
good times.
We got in our car and drove away.
Okay.
Man, oh,
What a
man.
day. That's the most exciting thing I've ever heard happen at a wedding.
Yeah.
Man, oh, man. What was the moment that you knew that you were in trouble? 844-999. Ola, hold the line. More of your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Dispatchers in Okanagan, Washington, received an unusual call right around lunchtime on Thursday. A woman called to say that she was 30 feet up into a tree near a local campground with wolves hovering at the bottom and waiting for her to come down. The research student said she'd been surveying the area when she saw the wolves. The tree seemed her best possible escape. Deputies sent to assist her were told that they could shoot the wolves on sight if they were still at the tree's base, but apparently that was not necessary. A Department of Natural Resources helicopter was actually able to land and save the student. The local sheriff says his office is looking into whether the wolves have a den there and if they'll pose future threats to other people wandering in the area. Again, let me say this. Their office is looking into whether the wolves have a den in the area. Maybe they were just there on vacation. Right? You think they flew in for a weekend getaway?
Went to the campground?
Yeah, just hung out, man. But now they're back in Arkansas now, hanging out. Is that what you think there, Sheriff? Please don't waste anyone's time doing that.
All right, let me ask you this.
Don't do that.
Which
Please don't waste
situation
any-
is
Jesus
worse
God.
to you? You're the woman in the tree 30 feet above the wolves. You know you're not going to climb down from the tree. That much is understood. If the wolves are there for 3 days, you're there for 3 days. Like I think we all agree you're not climbing back down. Or here you are with your incredibly fat father, and you are dangling 40 feet above alligators at Gator World on a zip line.
I don't know. Oh,
Here's the difference.
Zip line because
you might think you're safe. Hear me out, right? You're at Gator World, as they call it in Florida, so you understand there's engineers around you. But again, it's still 25 minutes that you're hanging there. And frankly, just because they're engineers doesn't mean you're not going to snap and fall into the water. Okay?
No, but you are on a line with carabiners and a harness and all that stuff. When you climb into a tree, it's just you holding on to a limb, man.
But at Gator World, there's employees.
There are employees.
She's just in
She's
the
in woods by
with
herself.
hungry
But
wolves underneath the tree.
I understand. I think my
Hungry
thought
like
is
the
this.
wolf.
I understand. You
Hungry like
definitely
the wolf.
you want some company. I get that. I'm saying as far as what I would feel is more secure. I mean, they're trusting the zip line that the owner even says, like, oh, something goes wrong with it all the time. Or in the tree, knowing damn well I'm not climbing down.
That's why,
you know what I'm
any
saying?
good burglar, you always need to come prepared with a pack of pepperoni in your pocket.
Man, this is the honest to God truth. I don't care who the dog is, how vicious they are. They've always got time for a piece of pepperoni.
You got pepperoni, man. You are in anywhere, any animal protected area.
We got
pepperoni wins.
A dude's house. It's back in Baltimore, my younger days, but he had this massive Doberman, and he'd only had it for like 3 or 4 days. He found it on the street. He took it in. This thing, it liked him, but it did not like anyone else. So he gives me a key to go to his place. And I'm like, man, and I'm with my buddy Leon, and it's like, listen, we're going to open the door, and there's this dog. So he's like, I'm pretty good with dogs. Don't worry about it. We open the door. This thing comes charging. Leon slams the door. He's like, Jesus Christ, the thing's a monster. I'm like, right, man. I'm like, how do we get in? Leon's light bulb goes off. We took the little bit of cash we had, walked to a Safeway that wasn't that far away.
Bought pepperoni.
He bought a pack of pepperoni, and the first thing he did, right? So the dog, we kind of knock on the door to let the dog know we're there. And you hear this thing just snarling and doing what it does. And I'm like, man, I do not want to go in this house. I say, hang on, man. He opens up the mail slot, throws in a piece of pepperoni, okay? So you're... And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So he opens it. So now the dog...
Tail's wagging.
The dog's... tail's not wagging.
Because Dobermans don't have a tail. They cut it off.
But it's being a little more patient, like, okay, tell me what you like. Like, at this point, it's so he opens the mail slot again, throws it a little farther back. The dog goes back to get it. We open the door, and basically, it's like Hansel and Gretel. I'm thinking this dog is going to maul us. We walk through this guy's house, dropping pepperoni like 3 feet behind the dog each time, open the back door, throw the rest of the pepperoni out there. The dog's now in the backyard. And then we handled our business. We did not let the dog back in. The dog was fine, but the guy, hey, that you let the dog in? And we said no. And he said, why? Because we said, at that point, we're out of pepperoni, and we're not opening the goddamn door again.
I saw a dog this morning, and he was trying to scrape off his muzzle.
All right.
Right?
Oh, yeah, a little side paw action.
And it's like a big pit bull. And as it walked by me, it tried to nip at me. And his owner just goes, that's why you have a muzzle.
Jeez, man.
That's not solving anything.
Right?
The dog went like, oh.
That's like Hannibal Lecter.
What was the moment you knew you were in trouble? 844-999-OLA.
I knew I was in trouble when I saw the size of that pit bull.
I'm sorry, sir.
The guy didn't say anything. He just went, that's why you wear a muzzle.
The thing he's trying to take off his face? That. Hello, Ray. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, so I was 12 years old. My dad threw me in a pen with some goats. Speaking of goat ropers.
What, why? How old were you when he threw you in a pen with goats?
I was 12.
Okay.
What was the purpose of this exercise?
I had to get the goat out of the pen.
Okay.
Yeah, that explains
All
it.
right.
So here I am, 12-year-old kid, been thrown in the pen with some goats. And like any other kid, I was like, yeah, let's go get the goats out of the pen. So I go in the pen. I get 2 goats out. It was fine, dandy, real easy, no problem. Well, I go to get the last goat. And when I knew I was in trouble is when I turned around and that goat was headed towards me.
I guess he was running toward you?
It was running towards me. Head down, boom, running towards me. So I didn't know what to do. I started running. Well, little did I know that there was a barbed wire fence that had one single strand. It was about 4 foot tall. I smacked that fence with my eyelids.
Oh, no.
I'm not talking eyebrows. I'm not talking nose height. I'm talking it smacked me right in the eyelid.
Oh.
So they had to cut the fence off, take me to the hospital, take the barbs out of my eyes. Yeah, it was...
Can you see all right now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, God.
Yeah, he's fine, dude.
Right.
Fine.
Good God. See, I didn't have that problem growing up.
Oh, man. What was the moment you knew you were in trouble? 844-999-OLA.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.